Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Anna. Guys, I am so excited for today's video. So if you guys don't know, Netflix has some absolutely amazing horror movies on there. Now guys, let me give you a little bit of a backstory. Yes, I love my little kids kind of like Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town movies and all that fun stuff, but your girl also really likes really good horror movies. The only good horror movie that I know from way back when is like The Exorcist, and like the original Exorcist, like the non-cut, the like really like graphic one. I love The Exorcist. I am not someone who gets squeamish. I am not someone who gets scared really easily. Your girl likes really good like hardcore horror movies. I am not one that like wimps out to go see them. Like I am all for it. Like the It movies have been absolutely amazing. A lot of the horrors coming out now have been so good, like It, The Nun. But anyways, I'm gonna do another video on that, on like my top favorite horror movies that I would recommend. So I just thought, listen, it's the fall season, it's Halloween season. Who does not want a horror movie connection and hook up? So you guys, I'm gonna hook you up and tell you my top 10 favorite horror movies / limited series or shows on Netflix right now. So check them out, and if you guys are interested, I'm gonna try to go in order of the newer ones I've seen to the older ones I've seen. So guys, these did not disappoint. I think these are really, really good. A lot of them weren't one of those movies where, you know, again, it takes a lot to scare me, and it takes a lot for me to say this was a good horror movie or series, because I really, you know, it's really hard for me personally to find a really good horror film, because a lot of them, the ones where it's just like it gets really quiet and then something pops out and it gets really quiet and something pops out, that's not my type of horror. Like I am not like, no, like I need something to scare me, something that like could possibly give me nightmares in my sleep. Like that's the type of person I am. So a lot of these that I'm gonna mention, they weren't so terrifying or I was so scared, but I thought the storylines were really good. They did a really good job, or it's something that I didn't see coming. So these are the top 10 Netflix movies and series I would highly recommend if you guys are interested in looking for some really good horror items this Halloween and fall season. So the first show, I think it's a limited series that I want to talk about, is Marian. Guys, I think this just came out 2-3 weeks ago, and it's so good. It is in another language, so you are gonna have to follow along with the subtitles, but guys, it is really good. So let me tell you a brief description about it. So Marian is about a famous horror movie writer who is lured back to her hometown to discover that the evil spirit who plagued her dreams is now wreaking havoc in the real world. Guys, this series is off the hook. It is so good, and the elderly woman that plays in this series, she killed it. She does such an amazing job. So basically, it's exactly what the description is. It's this writer who comes back to her small hometown, and the reason why she is a writer and making so much money is because she wrote about this spirit that was in her dreams when she was younger. So now it's plaguing her as she got older, because someone from her hometown actually came back to not came back, but went to one of her book signings and was like, you need to come back. This is haunting us. You need to take care of this. This is because of you. Guys, it does not disappoint. So I'm not going to tell you everything that happens, because that's not the point. I'm going to recommend these movies, and I'm not going to let you guys know what ends up happening, because I want you guys to see them for yourselves if you guys are interested. So I'm not going to spoil them. I would highly recommend this series. It is so good. Oh my god, the people that play in this movie, the actors and actresses, nail it. The elderly woman, when you guys see it, if you guys do watch it, you guys are going to know exactly who I'm talking about. The older woman that plays in this, she kills it. Her acting is absolutely amazing. So I would highly recommend. It's a really great series, but again, it is in another language, so you are going to have to follow along with the subtitles. The second series I want to highly recommend is The Haunting of Hill House. Now I think this is one of the biggest series that was kind of advertised. I feel like everyone knew about this, everyone wanted this to premiere, everyone was waiting for this to come out. So I would highly recommend it. And what's really great is that there is gonna be not a second season, because it's not gonna be like Haunting of Hill House season 2. They're not going to continue with the Hill House story, but they are going to continue with a different story kind of in that trilogy of it, which I'm so excited for. That's filming, and I think it's either coming out next year or within a year, so I'm so excited. I have to look up the name. I'm gonna put it up here what the second series is going to be, but The Haunting of Hill House did not disappoint. So let me give you guys a brief description. The Haunting of Hill House follows siblings who as children grew up in what would become one of the most famous haunted houses in the country. Now adults, they are forced back together in the face of tragedy and must finally confront the ghosts of their past. Some of those ghosts still lurk in their minds, while others may actually be stalking the shadows of Hill House. Guys. So basically this movie starts out, not movie, sorry, this is a series, not a movie. The series starts out with these kids, and basically one of the siblings ends up committing suicide. I'm not giving it away because it happens in the first episode, so I'm not going to give a lot away. So don't like, you know, oh, why'd you give it away? It's the first episode. You guys aren't missing much. So one of the siblings basically ends up committing suicide because of the ghosts from Hill House. And the reason they were all at Hill House is because their parents wanted to redo this historic like mansion, and basically it was haunted from the previous owners that have lived there from years past. And basically the series takes you through the story of the house, the people that live there, why it's haunted, why the kids got haunted. So guys, watch it. It is so good. It keeps you on your toes. Honestly, I've rewatched it twice already, and let me tell you guys, I watched it the first time, and when I watched it the second and third time, there's so many things I missed from watching it the first time that I only picked up my second and third time watching it, because that's just how good it is. There's so many hidden things that you don't realize the first time around. So I would even highly recommend watching it twice or 3 times, because it is so good. It's so eerie, it's so spooky. Just every episode kind of is around that house, and it just like, it's so well done, and like the scenery and the background and just like the creepy and eeriness of this house, it's just like, oh, it's Halloween vibes all the way. So I would highly recommend. Definitely a great series to watch, and they're gonna continue it, so stay tuned for that. So the third movie I want to recommend is Sabrina. Now I think the next couple movies I'm going to recommend to you guys are actually in different languages. So again, as I mentioned, I do like a lot of movies and series that are in different languages, especially Indonesian horror movies. They do such a good job. Like the demons and stuff they portray look almost so real, and just they do a great job. So the next movie I'm going to recommend is Sabrina. I believe Sabrina is in, I think it might be in Spanish or Portuguese. I can't remember. I can't 100% remember because this was a while back when I watched it. But I would highly recommend Sabrina, and let me tell you guys what that's about. Sabrina, a toy manufacturer, and his wife are terrorized by a demon after their orphan niece tries to call her deceased mother's spirit. So that's exactly what it's about. So this aunt and uncle basically now look after their niece after her parents have died, and she tries to get back in contact with her mom, but unfortunately while trying to get in contact with her mom, she ends up summoning a really bad demon and spirit that ends up terrorizing the whole family, and it's actually inside this doll called Sabrina. So again, highly would recommend it. It is so good. It keeps you on your feet. It is in another language, so you will have to follow the subtitles, but a lot of these movies that are in another language, if you just watch what's going on, you kind of get an idea and a sense of what's happening. So even if you're not one that's going to want to read every subtitle, watch the movie. It is so good. It is so intense. It's just, oh, they killed it. They killed it. It is such a great movie. You guys are gonna love it. So the next one that I would recommend are actually 2 movies, but part of the same series. It's The Doll and The Doll 2. So it's, as you can tell, about a doll, but again, I believe this is an Indonesian horror, so it is gonna be in another language, so you will have to follow with the subtitles. But basically it's about a doll that's possessed. So let me read it to you guys. Eerie things start to happen after a man gives his wife a doll that once belonged to a girl who was murdered. Guys, this series is so good. If you guys love horrors that like involve dolls, if you guys know like the Annabelle series that we have here in the States, where basically Annabelle is a doll that is possessed, this is kind of the same thing, but it's an Indonesian horror. Oh, it is so good. That doll is creepy as hell. It like honestly scared the crap out of me when I was watching it, and just the way they do it is so good. The next item I have, another movie in another language, is The Third Eye and The Third Eye 2. And what it is about is when her little sister claims she sees the dead, Aaliyah consults a psychic who opens up her third eye to the vengeful ghost haunting their childhood home. Oh guys, so it is exactly what it is in the title. Is basically these 2 sisters. One, the little sister, ends up being you know, her third eye is open, so she's open to ghosts, she's open to them speaking, to seeing them, and they terrify her. And her older sister basically says, I don't believe in this, like, I don't believe in ghosts, I don't believe you can see spirits and talk to them. So she ends up going to this psychic who opens up her third eye, and then after that, all goes crazy. Once her third eye opens up, she starts seeing everything her little sister sees, and it is honestly terrifying. They do such a great job at this and basically tell people's stories and why they end up haunting you and tragedies that have happened. So I think it is so good. It really lures you in at the beginning, just because, you know, we've always heard of our third eye, and that, you know, once your third eye opens up, you can see a lot into the spiritual world and things like that. But to actually see a movie based on it, guys, so well done. I would highly recommend those two movies. All right, the next item I have, I can't pronounce this right. I think I'm pronouncing this right. It's called Cancel Anak. I'll put it up here, but it's Kuntilanak. So it's about 5 youngsters who discover that an antique mirror found in their orphanage is a home to an evil ghost who kidnaps children and imprisons them inside. So as I mentioned, again, I am really about the storylines when it comes to horror movies. If you have a good storyline, that's how you're gonna grab me. So like things like Scream, the Chainsaw Massacres, things like that, are those good horror movies? Yes. But someone who got, like, I don't know, you know, had a bad childhood and then grew up to torture and kill people, not kind of my thing anymore. I used to watch them, I still do watch things like that, and I will give movies like that a chance, but I love movies that have storylines, like if someone died, how they died, and why they're possessing people, and things like that. That's what I love to see. I love things with good storylines. So this has a really great storyline. You know, it's about these kids who discover this mirror, and then the friends start getting pulled into this mirror and this other world, and they try to fight these demons off. I think it's really good. It's really well done. It's really well written. Again, in another language, so you would have to follow the subtitles, but really good. I think you guys would enjoy it if you guys like foreign horror and stuff like that. Okay, the next item I have is Autopsy of Jane Doe. Guys, so let me read what this is about, and then I'm going to give my opinion on it. So father and son coroners perform an autopsy on an unidentified woman with mysterious injuries and a dark secret. Guys, if that already doesn't sell you, I'm gonna sell you right now. This movie is so good. It keeps you on your feet, because the crazy thing is, halfway through the movie I thought I had an idea of who this woman is. So think about it, right? It's coroners doing an autopsy on this unidentified woman. She has injuries, she has scars, and they're trying to figure out what happened to her. Guys, I thought everything and anything. I thought like I had this nailed down. I was like, oh, I know what this is gonna be. No, the ending I did not see coming. So is it one of those movies where things go quiet and things pop out? Yes, but it's very well done. Just from the description of the movie, how are you not drawn in to see, like, what is this about? Like, you know, who is this unidentified woman? What happened to her? What is this about? What is her story? But guys, I thought I knew halfway through what it was, but I did not, because what it ended up being, I did not see coming. And everyone I recommend to watch this movie has really loved it. So I would highly recommend it. It's a good horror series. You know, turn it on a Friday night when you're coming home from work. Turn off all the lights, get a candle going, and just get your popcorn ready and enjoy, because that movie had me at the edge of my seat from beginning to end. It was so good, and I did not see the ending coming. I would highly recommend it. Great movie. The next thing I have is Veronica. So this is another movie. I also believe this is in either Spanish or Portuguese, something like that, if I am not mistaken. Some of these movies I did watch, you know, a couple months back, so I don't 100% know, but I do remember if they are in another language. So I believe this might be in Spanish, and the name of the movie is Veronica. And let me read what it's about. After holding a seance at school, okay, that already should draw you in. After holding a seance at school, a teen girl looking after her younger siblings at home suspects an evil force is with her in the home. So this is so good. This movie is, oh, I'm telling you guys, do not sleep on these movies that are in different languages, because they are so good. So basically exactly what it says. This girl does a seance in school with her friends, and then she comes home to babysit her younger siblings, and all this stuff starts happening. and it is so good. This is another one that keeps you on your feet, and then they kind of have to retrace their steps, figure out what's going on, and try to get rid of this demon. And I believe, if I remember correctly, this demon was, wow, like they did a really good job when they actually show the demon. Like, it's pretty terrifying. Right, so the next movie is called Mara, and Mara is about a criminal psychologist who investigates a man who was seemingly murdered in his sleep by his wife. She uncovers more than just a fight between a couple. Guys, this movie is insane. So I'm gonna warn you guys, if you guys, so this movie is about a spirit that haunts you while you sleep and causes sleep paralysis. So if you guys are kind of touchy on that subject, if you guys do have sleep paralysis and things like this might scare you or might terrify you, I wouldn't recommend this movie, because it is pretty, you know, it's pretty intense. And if you guys do suffer from sleep paralysis, or if that's one of your fears, maybe I wouldn't suggest watching this movie, just because that's exactly what it's about. It's about a spirit that haunts you and basically causes sleep paralysis. So you're basically frozen in your sleep. Well, yes, while you sleep, you end up waking up and you can't move, you can't do anything. So it's pretty intense. If you guys suffer from that, if you guys are scared of things like that, I wouldn't recommend it. But if that stuff doesn't scare you and you guys are interested to see something like that, I would highly recommend this movie. It scared the crap out of me. I'm not someone who was scared of sleep paralysis or ever had sleep paralysis, but I know a lot of people who have and do have it. So again, if it is touchy for you, wouldn't recommend it. But if you want to see something like that and interest you, I would highly recommend it. I think it was very well done. And then the last movie I have, I don't know if this is necessarily good. This is another movie that I don't know how I felt about it. I don't know if it was good, but it wasn't bad. But I don't know. It's kind of gory. It's kind of like, you know, people get cut open and things spill out, and it's, I don't know. So it's called Terra Fire, and it's a clown that follows people and then slaughters them. That's it, guys. It's basically in the description. It's about a clown that looks kind of creepy and scary as heck, and it follows people at night. I think it's Halloween night. Yeah, it follows people like Halloween night. It basically is a series of this clown like just following random people and slaughtering them, and that's exactly what it's about. Again, it was gory, so I wouldn't recommend if you're squeamish or if you're not into gore or things like that. I would not recommend it. Was it scary? I don't think it was scary, but it was kind of eerie. It was creepy. It was creepy because the clown was creepy and what he did to people was creepy. So yeah, and the clown, I don't think, if I can remember correctly, I don't think the clown ever spoke, so it just made faces. So it's a clown, so it's always like smiling while it's like trying to kill you and torture you, and it's just like, it's eerie. It's definitely kind of creepy. Again, it wasn't like, oh my god, I'm so scared, because again, I don't get scared easily, but it was kind of creepy. It was a creepy movie, so I would recommend that. I think it's also based off of an older movie, because I think I was watching something or browsing through something and I saw the same kind of clown face in another movie. So I think it might be based off of an older clown movie, but this one was definitely kind of just like eerie and creepy, and definitely like, I don't even know if you want to watch alone. I watched it alone, so it wasn't too bad for me, but it's definitely one of those creepy movies that you might want to watch with someone else. You might not want to be alone. So yeah, guys, those are my top 10 favorite horror movies and series on Netflix right now. And let me tell you, Netflix is just banging them out, especially in October. They're really doing a great job at like Halloween movies and series that they're releasing. So I'm so excited for the up and coming things that they're releasing, because they're actually getting really good. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys have watched any of these Netflix series or movies that I mentioned. And again, a lot of these that I mentioned are in a different language, but trust me, they are worth the watch. They are terrifying, they are creepy. Again, I'm not someone who's squeamish, but these storylines and these movies, kind of like, these were well done. These were really well done, because I'm not someone that gets scared easily, so I thought these were like definitely, you know, great quality, something good to watch. And I hope you guys enjoy, because it is the Halloween season. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave any questions, comments down below, and stay tuned, because a lot more Halloween and spooky stuff to come. Bye guys.